What is up? This is the Heat Waves podcast. I'm Mr. Bradley. My colleague, as always, is with me is T-Ball. What is up, T-Ball? And what are we talking about today?
What's up, Mr. Bradley? We are definitely talking about the NBA today and how the NBA bubble has possibly popped due to the opt-out. Now, obviously, the NBA is having some issues with not only getting started, but some of these players at the Disney Slam area or whatever you want to call it that are in this bubble. A lot of players are, not only not enjoying the bubble, but there seems to be a lot of things that they're unhappy with and the health and safety. So we're going to kind of jump into that and just kind of go over some of the things that's going on in the NBA as far as what we think could possibly come of this season, what might happen, and what's currently going on. So obviously, not only is the health becoming an issue and the steps they're taking or not taking to ensure their player safety, but the food seems to not be that great either.
Yeah, but then you got to look at it. There's going to be these critics out there going, "What? Who cares about the food? Like, really? That's what you're complaining about is the food and blah blah blah." Yeah, but these guys.
Well, it's like prison guards or prisoners complaining about the food they get. You're required so many calories, they give you the acquired calories that you need.
But it's disgusting food.
But yeah, it's disgusting food. And it might be the same concept with the players, maybe not as disgusting, but according to the bubble, they're providing the players with enough calories for them to make it through the day. And I think what these guys are complaining about is they're not getting enough calories to ensure they stay in the shape they're currently in.
Well, the way I look at it is they're kind of complaining because they're not getting a 5-star freaking meal, and it's like, shut up.
And free one from a 5-star hotel that they have to walk into.
Right, well, and then the other issues are hotel rooms they're complaining about. They're complaining about it's like a roach motel.
These guys are probably used to being catered to.
Well, they gotta shut up. And this isn't your $5 million home.
Right.
You're not in some luxurious home condo, 5-star hotel, or whatever have you.
You're lucky the NBA made accommodations for you at all.
Exactly, and you're there to entertain us, not complain about.
This is a business.
Oh, your meals and stuff. I know your meals are better than that because they're still better than ours sitting here today. Are you kidding me?
We just had fucking pizza rolls. What are you talking about?
Right. It's not. I mean, I get it. You guys aren't having steak and shrimp, I'm sure, but you know what? That's because you're not out on the town and having a night out at a nice restaurant. This is something again they've made for you to accommodate, like you're saying. And then the next step we have is them complaining about their salaries. Well, you're not playing a full season, but you're also here to play basketball, and there's all these opt-outs, and I'm not going to play if I'm not going to get my full, salary. I'm not playing because of health issues, and I'm not playing because of hotel rooms or the accommodations you have set for us, and that's quite ridiculous because you make hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Well, I mean,
to millions.
To be fair, I mean, some of these guys do have wives at home that are pregnant, and they are just about to have a baby, and you don't want to contract that and not be able to go home.
But at the same time, T-Ball, what are they doing? They get you tested at the door, say, hey, you shouldn't leave this bubble. And if you do, you need to take every precaution.
So you're basically saying if they contract the COVID, it's because they've made decisions that put them in a spot to contract it themselves.
Well,
they
absolutely.
left and came back. I could see that.
Absolutely.
So not only you got all these guys contracting it, guys, you doing the snitch hotline, the food ain't good. You got players opting out because of money or they don't want to risk their health. Like I said, it brings us to the point where is if LeBron wins the championship or anybody else, is the championship going to be credible?
Well, let's just put this in perspective. We all know it's going to probably be like, 3 teams that have the highest chance that are probably going to win this. It's either going to be the Lakers, the Bucks, or Kawhi Leonard and his Clippers, right?
Or Toronto, maybe.
I don't think they're strong enough without him. After he left, I think he could handle them now with the Clippers by himself. But what I'm saying is,
Boston's up there too, but Gordon Hayward opted out.
But we know that these are going to probably be the top 3 teams, and the top 2 teams for sure is going to be the Bucks and Lakers. But yes, if you hand them this, is it really credited? And I'm a Bucks guy. It's not credible to me because one, you've had all this time off. And sports is about perseverance and pushing through and overcoming injuries and different things that happen no matter what the sport is, especially basketball. The way I look at it, it's like, well, no. Because like all those things I mentioned before, there's too much time of rest. Like it's great for my Bucks and Giannis because I would love to see them win a championship after fucking 50 years.
I mean, everybody gets the same amount of rest, but,
right? But it's just like I don't see this as you're going to have an asterisk. To me, whoever wins this gets an asterisk because all the players who opt out, there's not as much competition now.
Right, and isn't it a situation where by the end of the season, the Lakers will have played the least amount of games?
Yes, they were actually talking about doing this restart, and most teams altogether would average 72, 73, 74. It was the fact that the Dallas and Lakers actually are going to play the least amount of total games.
Well, Dallas is playing one of the least.
71 games versus everybody else that's at 72, 73, 74, and 75 total games. So doesn't that factor in a little bit too to help LeBron a little more? I know we may sound like we're hating here, but...
Well, and then we're just putting LeBron in the title. This could Giannis, this could be Leonard, this could be anybody.
Absolutely.
But it seems like the person with the biggest chance to make it and the biggest person with the best opportune is LeBron.
Yeah.
He's going to see the most advantage from this because the season was stopped.
And people are opting out. And
plus all the other people, yeah, like we said, are opting out, and they're bringing in G League, D League guys to replace these dudes. It's
or just guys that aren't even competition for, LeBron and Giannis and guys like that. There's going to be 3 or 4 teams that's going to run the show out of these 22 there. And it's going to start July 30th. NBA Finals. Let's go through this. NBA Finals is no later than October 30th is when it'll end, because the new season they're talking about is already going to be December 1st.
Yeah, that's crazy. So you'll have maybe a month and a half off.
But let me go back.
We're going to see where the longevity comes into play, I think, in the next season. Of just anybody. Really. Mostly LeBron, but I think we'll see how the stamina, because 1.5 months off, like, what are you going to do during that time? Just straight start working out again.
You would not be able to stop. You might as well not.
You couldn't. You might as well. Just keep playing.
But
really.
let me backtrack back. Do you think it would be credited to the, a credible win, I should say, a championship win, no matter who it is? I don't care who it is. Do you think it would be?
I don't think it would be a credible win. Everybody's, and like I said, everybody's had the same amount of time off, but that's when we see the real winners come out, is where the guys who are playing every single minute, who are ungodly tired by the end of the year because they play every single second. Who's to say Giannis, if we never had a shutdown because he's playing so many minutes, he doesn't get hurt, or LeBron doesn't get hurt, or they come back and they're not as skilled, or they're a little rusty.
Oh, they're going to be rusty.
It's really one of those issues where you got to think, like, there's a lot of factors that I am playing through my mind that is telling me no matter who wins this chip, it's not really a credible chip. One, you can blame it on a lot of things for why you didn't win. Oh, we weren't getting the right food. They weren't taking the right health precautions. I had people trying to snitch on me for not wearing my mask.
I got guys opting out.
Yeah, most of my teammates opted out. I'm playing with some G League guys. Plus, they only brought 13 teams from the West and 9 from the East, and now they're implementing this wild card. And who's to say that if that wild card comes in that they don't win? It's just like, it's really anybody's ball game, but we're just going to basically find out who's able to benefit the most from this. And even if whether you benefit or you don't from it, I just don't see, no matter who wins, with all these factors being implemented, it's either going to be an excuse for why they didn't win, or a reason why they did. So that makes it not credible to me, because hindsight's 50-50, and there's always going to be that argument at the end of the season where you're going to be like, oh, yeah, well, LeBron would have won it if this wouldn't have happened. Or Giannis wouldn't have won it if this wouldn't have happened. If the season would have kept going, there would have been no chance for blah, blah, blah. There's going to be that argument at the end, so we might as well just not even make the chip credible. I don't think it also makes no matter who wins the chip credible, because there's just a lot of what-ifs.
Absolutely.
We stopped, like, towards the end of the season.
Yeah, with like 16 games.
When the most important games are coming up. We're starting to weed out the crud and see who's really about it right now.
But it's going to be hard to credit it, but at the same time, it's like, well, someone's got to be a champion. But if you got everybody opting out, nobody really wants to play.
It seems like nobody wants to play at all.
It's because of money. It's not because of health.
Number one.
It is not because of health, no matter it's the NBA, the NFL, or MLB. Everybody, it's a players' league now. Yeah. The NBA is ran by players. The NFL is ran by the players. Now, the contracts may not be ran by players, but I'm going to tell you right now, the league is always ran by players, because they go and do what? Well, I'm not going to play.
No. And I think you're right. I think it's a lot about the money and a little bit about the health.
And they're just using this as a back pocket escape route and an excuse to be like, oh, I can't play. I'm not going to play because I'm not getting paid. I'm getting prorated.
Oh, and they're making excuses like this. The food is horrible.
Yeah, the living accommodations, my salary. Well, your salary is cut down because you're not playing a full fucking season, bud.
And you just had a month off.
And not only that, your salaries are still higher than almost 60% of regular fucking people there are in this world. So shut your mouth and play ball. It's the easiest opt-out right now to not have to play. Like, this expands from sports. this is the easiest opt out with the pandemic. Like, go to work. What do you see? Go out to eat through the fast food. What do you see? Half-ass done job meals that are missing something or this or that because people are like, pandemic's going on. I don't have to do shit. Or, oh, it's so terrible. It's the worst thing ever.
With the pandemic going on, we're not able to get access to these certain things.
We can't do this, and it's preventing me from this. And
we
people
can't
just don't care.
We can't put salt and pepper on your table.
Yeah, it's just a whole money factor, and people are lazy, and they're using that excuse to go, I don't want to do my job, or and that's what it comes down to with the NBA restart.
Well, you know what's funny is we're going to have somebody in the comments here probably in just a minute go, what do you think these NBA players don't want to play basketball? They've grown up their whole lives playing basketball. They love the game. Of course they want to play.
It's all about the health.
If you were one of the best in the world at basketball, wouldn't you want to get paid for it? No, because if I love the game, I just want to play. That's
right.
It.
It's about the
and
competition.
I don't really care about the money. Like, yeah, the money's a bonus, but
it's great that I'm getting all this money.
It's more because I'm an athlete and I love the competition.
Absolutely.
Which goes out of a lot of people's minds when they enter into a professional sport. But I think at the same time, yeah, I think it really is a majority. I'm afraid I'm not going to get my money. Nothing's guaranteed. This pandemic is going to give, my organization a tax write-off, and that's going to come out of my pocket or whatever the situation may be.
Or I'm not making $10 million this year, which is what my contract says. I'm only making $2 million. Well, boo fucking who? You can still afford that damn Ferrari, bud.
Right? And you also owe us about 30 more games.
Right.
So
what are you talking about, bud?
I don't know. I'm still interested in this wild card game. How is that working?
So if the 9th seed team, because there's 8 seeds in both, Eastern and Western, if you know that from the regular playoff format, but now it's changed this year. So if the 9th seed is within 4 or 5 games of the 8th seed at the end of these exhibition games, then those 2 teams will play this almost a playoff, like a wild card, where just these 2 play, and that gets to be the 8th seed, whether it's the Eastern or Western Conference. But the problem is, it's like, why 4.5 games out? If you're 4.5 or 5 games out,
where'd they pull that number from?
Why the hell are you giving 9th place a chance? 8th place clearly won. Why do we need to play this stupid extra round, waste of a time that no one wants to play anyways of the NBA restart, except for these ballin'-ass young guys? They're like, oh, no, fuck that. I want the rest of my season back.
Yeah.
Because think about that. If you were in high school, college, professional sports, no matter what it is, and your shit got cut off, and you're balling that year, especially if you're balling, and your shit gets cut off, you damn sure want to keep playing.
I feel bad for guys like Zion and Ja Morant. Those guys are just being able to, show off their skills, and the season gets shut down.
Yeah, and speaking of Zion, we don't know if he's even going to make it back. He had this family emergency, which we all know is about the Duke scandal, but I'm not going to get into that.
So check this out. What if the NBA or professional sports was like a record contract?
Right.
And so in the music industry, what usually happens is when you sign a record deal, they give you a bunch of fucking money up front.
Float you money.
Yep, float you money. In order to make that money and for us to start paying you, you have to sell this many records to make us that money back.
Right.
And then you'll start making money
profit
off your records. Yes. It's almost like one of those situations. What if the guys in the NBA were like, oh, hey, you owe us you owe me $10 million. Oh, okay, well, let's see. Let's do the math. Carry the 1. You owe us 30 games.
Right.
Are you able to play the 30 games? Because there's only 10 left. So how are you going to get us back those 20 other games?
Prorate.
So, yes, we're going to prorate your ass, and then this is how much you're gonna make through these games.
And that's
okay,
how
well,
it
I
is.
just won't play at all. Okay, well, then see ya.
Well, we're not going to give you a dime.
Which is stupid because...
You're opting out of a contract. Think about that.
Yeah. And not only that, how long have you, myself, all been waiting for sports to come back? And now we have all these professionals saying, oh, I'm not going to play. I make hundreds of millions of dollars a year. I'm not going to play basketball. I'm concerned about COVID. It's the fucking flu. The only people that die from it are old people and young children.
If you have a terrible
You're a grown-ass man. You're
in the best shape of your life.
You are the peak of perfection when it comes to physicality.
Right.
So
health.
even if you get COVID, you're going to be just fine because there's lots of players out there who have contracted it. DeAndre Jordan, DeMarcus Cousins, lots of players out there who are very, very talented. Russell Westbrook, who have contracted it. Now they're just fine. There's one guy who got rid of it, and then it came back. He's had it twice, and he's still alive.
Damn thing got me twice.
So this whole I'm a pussy. Oh, I don't want to get sick. Then go play fucking soccer.
Right.
The soccer players are still playing.
Damn right. We haven't heard a thing about
Nothing
them
about
complaining.
soccer. And those guys are the biggest fucking pussies in the sport world.
Right.
Well, it's the most popular sport in the world. Well, that's because it's played in third world countries where they can't afford a baseball glove, a basketball hoop,
Right.
a golf, a fucking pitching wedge along with balls. That's why soccer's so popular. Because
Anybody can pick up a ball and kick it.
you can make a ball out of twine and kick it around. I mean, God. And those guys still play. Come on.
Yeah, I think the NBA is just being, like I said, it's an excuse or escape route for an excuse that, oh, this pandemic's going on, I can't play because of that. And most of these guys were, if you would check the tapes, you know what most of these guys were doing that were doing the most complaining about this whole health issue? They were out kicking it and partying in Florida and all these high-rated places where COVID had the
In the
highest
club,
spikes.
popping bottles.
Right, the highest spikes of COVID-19 that you're so worried about not playing basketball about inside of a bubble that's clean as long as you don't leave and fuck up and bring it back in. That, oh no, I can't play because, but I'm out kicking it, partying with all hundreds of thousands of people on different places where it's all spiked the highest rates. But yet you can't play, what is it? Let's see, 8 regular season games that you owe us under contract, and how much money people spent on fucking season tickets or tickets in general or your merchandise or your fucking jersey. Get your bitch ass out there for hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars
It's like
a year.
not only did you shut down sports and we've been waiting this whole entire time for it to come back, but and that's the point I was getting to. When it's finally back, now all these guys are like, well, I'm not going to play. We've been waiting for you guys for this to open back up so we can watch you, so you can do your job and entertain us. Because that's your fucking job.
And that's what we pay for.
You owe us 8 games, motherfucker.
Right, or 8 million.
What I feel bad for, yeah, or my 8 million. Where are you gonna pay my cable bill, motherfucker? Right. You know what I feel bad for is it's almost like a lot of these guys that are on those bottom tier teams who are opting out are like, well, I think in the back of the mind they're like, I'm just opting out because I know my team doesn't even have a chance.
Yeah, right.
We only they're gonna let us come back and we only get 8 more regular season games. My team has no chance of coming back.
Right. If you look at Washington, or no, I'm sorry, the Wizards. I'm sorry, they're in the East. They are what is it like 5 games?
Yeah,
well, they're 28. They're 28
yeah.
and a half games out from first.
Oh.
But they're like 4 or 5 games out from whoop-de-doo fucking 8th place. Whoop-de-doo. You don't have a chance versus these other teams when you get into the playoffs anyway. So why are we having these extra teams? It should be 8-8. Those top 8 teams should get to go. No regular season games. We go to full 7-game series and start right fucking now. Here's the big thing. They don't want to be stuck in a fucking bubble to where they got told what to do because they're what? Rich, famous guys that are used to doing whatever the hell they want, when the hell they want, because they have all the money they can possibly want.
Yep.
And now they're mad because they're being told what to do.
Yeah, plus they don't get to go out to their favorite bars and restaurants and get free food and liquor.
Yeah, because of who they are.
Free jewelry and show off to their girlfriends while their wives are at home and shit like that. Drive around in their Maserati, do 120 down the highway, get pulled over just for a cop to go, oh, damn, you're Giannis Okatombo. Have a nice day, man. Get out of here.
Right. So
Is that pot? Let me get some of that.
Yeah, let me just take it off your hands.
Yeah.
But that's the way I look at it. These guys are using this as the biggest excuse ever. I think it's not credible. That's how my whole spiel goes with it.
I don't think the chip would be credible. I honestly think they should just wait till next year.
It starts December 1st anyway.
Yeah, right. That's a couple months down the line. We're already halfway through the year. I mean, come on.
At the same time, if you're a big time,
I do want sports back though.
But that's not even where I'm going. Like I love that too. I want the NFL back so bad.
I want it back, but I want it back the right way.
Absolutely, not
where everybody's back and
pussy way.
Yeah.
But the way I look at it, being a Bucks fan, it's like, damn man, they were doing like just think about it from a fan's perspective. Your team finally has been so shitty for so long, and the Bucks haven't really been shitty, but this year is the best they've ever done in so long, and they're like, oh man, we're so close to a chip, man. I want them to play. They gotta play, and it's heartbreaking if they were to just stop the season when they did stop it instead of starting it right now, and just waiting till December 1st when the season comes out and restarting, because we do need a championship. That's the problem, and I sound like a hypocrite because I'm like, man, we do need this championship, but at the same time, it's not credible. because of all the things we've been talking about today.
Yeah, we need something
but
to watch.
From a fan's perspective, and someone who loves the game, it's just like, damn, I really wish what could have happened if they would have just stopped the season and started over. That'd have been crazy to be in the history books and been like, wait, who won in 2019-20 season? Oh shit, nobody, because there was no. The season got cut, so what if? Blah blah blah. Back to that whole spiel, but it's sad for a fan's perspective who's been waiting so long for their team who's done so shitty, and it gets cut abruptly. So I'm happy for the restart because I want sports, but two, we need a winner, even if there is an asterisk. But like I said, it's not credible.
I think they should have just set a picket line, brought in a bunch of replacements, and then said, if you still want to play, here's the rules, and here's how much you'll make, and here's what this is and this is. If you agree with that, feel free to step over the picket line. If not, stay in your zone, and we're going to continue to play basketball. If you want to be a part of it, come on. But if not, keep your bitch ass at home.
Well, the big problem is because all those big time guys are saying I'm not playing and I'm opting out. Those guys are all the big, guys that are sponsored by all these huge brands, and they don't make money if these guys don't play. And that's the whole reason behind it too, is to make all this money back.
It's all around money.
We talked about it on a previous podcast how much money they were going to lose on not playing these final 15, 16 games.
A lot.
And it's like $7 billion. It's fucking crazy, or whatever it was. But it was some crazy number. But that's the whole thing with this whole thing. They're trying to make their money back, but with no fans in there and guys opting out, it's going to be real hard and real tough.
Which is weird is like, they must be setting up some kind of streaming services for it to be put on different platforms, because that would be the only way you can make money back without having fans.
Yeah, because of the concession, the jerseys, people in the stands, of ticket sales and season.
I mean,
holders.
how much money does a stadium sell in concessions on a nightly basis alone?
Especially depending on those higher tier teams like the Lakers and Celtics.
Imagine how much a hamburger at Boston Stadium or whatever their stadium is called. How much a hamburger there is compared to somewhere Oklahoma City.
No, compared to Phoenix
or something.
Somebody garbage like that.
I mean, you could probably go to Chicago Stadium, Bull Stadium, get a hot dog for $6, but you go to L.A. and get a hot dog, and it's going to be like $22.
Right.
Like, come on. It's all about money, and it's all going to come to a standstill.
That's what I'm saying. Brings it back to that point.
Yes.
We're going to see a lot of load management. Mark my words. Come December 1st on that new season.
Yes,
especially between LeBron. So I don't like it. I don't like the whole all these players and their excuses. I don't like their complaints. I don't like the fact that this isn't going to be a credible NBA championship season because
Tell us what you guys think. Do you think that no matter who wins the chip, it's a credible chip? What do you think is going to happen with the players and how they're handling the bubble issue? And what do you think they should do as far as next season? I mean, that's not a lot of time off. Just tell us what you think. Let us know what you know. If you have any insight on what's going on, don't forget to comment and like. We appreciate the subscribes as well. I'm your boy T-Ball.
And I'm Mr. Bradley. Thanks for tuning in today with this ridiculous NBA bubble being popped.